It is, I think, a clear expectation of governments, of mayors, of customers. I think that everybody is thinking that mobility is extremely important. It has to develop in all countries, being in highly motorized countries, also in emerging countries. We need to develop the mobility of people and the mobility of freight. But this has to be done in a way which has got to become safer, which has to become cleaner, and in a way which is going to become highly connected. And it is precisely through these connectedness tools that we will have improvements in the type of mobility we will be having in the years to come. And yes, mobility can become safer, and once again, it is clear that for governments, for cities, and for the citizens, it's very important that these connectivity tools are being massively deployed. In terms of developing cleaner mobility, once again, it's important because if we can have a better management of fleet traffic in cities, around cities, and even in intercity applications, once again, we can eliminate a lot of pollutants in the city, making the life of people much more pleasant. At the same time, we can eliminate a lot of CO2 emissions, and that's important. And through connectivity, we can also make mobility much more modern and much more enjoyable. Because the point, I think, is really to try to avoid losses of time. Time is becoming of the essence, and through highly connected, harmoniously connected mobility, from one way of mobility, my bicycle, my car, my bus, my tramway, and so forth, and all the way to my airplane, I can really have a life which is much more enjoyable. And I can make a real use of my time for the benefit of myself, my family, my company, and society in general. What is so important is to try to come up with some shared vision of where we need to place the priorities. For instance, as the world is urbanizing massively and rapidly, it's very important that we come up with new ways of envisioning urban mobility. I'm personally convinced that by 2030, 2035, thinking of zero emission, zero accident cities is a possibility, precisely through an integrated approach between governments, national and territorial, local, between different stakeholders, because we will see the benefits of moving in such direction. So if there is some kind of stakeholders agreement that this is a priority, that instead of talking constraints, we talk about additional benefits to people, then we can create the right momentum to make sure that this will happen. I had some expectations in particular because I'm particularly interested in the development of electric mobility, because I think it will develop in various forms. Doesn't mean that we will eliminate internal combustion engine, not at all. Okay, oil is important, but the same we need, in addition to that, to develop e-mobility for various applications. And I do see a clear connection between the advent of connectedness between vehicles and infrastructure and so forth, and the advent of electric drive, because the connectivity is going to lay the ground for better interaction between vehicles and infrastructures and so forth, knowing where to find electricity, knowing how to interact with infrastructures and so forth, how to deal with smart grids. So, I mean, some kind of collaborative world will take place. And in this respect, the connectivity tools are really important to make e-mobility a real success. And not only e-mobility, all mobility, but in particular e-mobility. So that was my expectation, and my expectation has been completely fulfilled.